It's time for another Dice Tower review with Z Garcia.
Hey everybody, today I'm taking a look at Dice Heist. Dice Heist here is a push your luck dice game, set collection game, in which you are a thief and you are visiting different locations in the world and breaking in there possibly with assistants and stealing all their valuable goods. And if you at the end of the game walk away with the most precious stuff, then you win the game. Let me give you a quick look at the game and then I'll tell you what I think of it. So here's what the game looks like set up. We have the four museums up here. We've got the deck of cards. Each player gets one of these dice, and that represents the players themselves. And then we have a pool here of the white dice, which are assistants, and you're ready to go. The objective of the game is to get the most victory points, of course, and you're going to be doing that by looting these different places and walking away with artifacts, with gems, or with paintings worth a certain amount of money, and that'll all translate to victory points, okay? So, on your turn, quite simply, the first thing you do is you take a card, you flip it, and you play it in the correct location. So this card will play over here. And then I have two options. I can either choose a place that I will try to break into, and I can roll dice to do that, or I grab an assistant. So on my turn, I could flip, grab an assistant, that's it. Next player's turn, let's say they are going to flip a card, and they will play it in the correct location, which is here. That is a painting. And again, they could roll, or they could grab an assistant. Let's say this player wants to roll, and they say, I'm going to try to get into Russia here. So they're going to roll the die. Oh, let's do that on camera. Okay, they get a 6. They needed to break this value at least. So a 3 or more would have done it. They rolled a 6, so they get everything in front of that location and put it in front of themselves, okay? That's it. They take their die back. If they had chosen to bring along any assistants, if they don't make it, then nothing happens. Let's say, I try to break in here on my next turn and I roll a 1 and a 2. I did not make it, and I just take everybody back, and that's it for me. If I do make it, even if it was on my own die, let's say that's what I rolled, a 1 and a 6, then I still lose every assistant I brought with me, and I get everything that's sitting in there. And so these places are going to build up. So you'll keep, doing that. Every player flips, they add it, they take an assistant to roll, I flip, I add this where it goes, I'll take an assistant as well. Next player over here, they grab one, they'll place this, and so on. Some of the cards in here, when you flip them, ask you to flip another one. And so let me see if I find one. Here we go. When you flip this one and play it in the right location, you then flip another card and place it in the right location. And so you could chain some of those together sometimes. Game's going to be over when we've run the deck out and all these places are finally empty, and then you score up. And scoring's pretty simple. First of all, whoever has the highest value of paintings combined is going to earn 8 victory points, and whoever has the lowest amount of paintings loses 4 victory points. The 3 types of gems, the green ones here, and the blue and the red, are each worth, every time you get one, it is worth 1 more than the previous one. And so the first green is worth 1 point, the next one is worth 2 points, and so on. And that's true for all 3 colors. And then these that are that vase symbol, the artifacts, they're simply worth a victory point each. So these are 1, and then there are some that are worth 2 victory points, like that one there. Add all of those things up together, and you've got your winner. So as you can see, really light, really simple. I think this is a neat filler game. Certainly something that is quite random and has a lot of luck in it, but I enjoy playing it. I think it's something that I could see myself bringing out when I just want a 15-minute time killer, and I do like that the turns are so quick, your decisions so very simple. There is a little small variant in there as well, which I did not show you in the overview, but I'll tell you now, in which you may, on your turn, instead of trying to break into a museum and steal everything by rolling more than the number printed, you may say, I want to steal just this one thing and roll to match the number on the museum. And so, instead of having to roll a 6 and steal everything at the last museum, you could just roll a 5 and pick the one thing. You got to pick first. But it's a minor deal. I would play with it or without it, but probably wouldn't even bother explaining it. Doesn't seem to matter that much. The game is so very light. And so I enjoy it. My main concern here is replayability. I don't think this game has a lot of legs. I think once you've played this, you're probably going to put it away for a long time. You might come back to it, but you might not. Not a game that has a lot of staying power, I'm afraid. But I do enjoy the gameplay, and I would love, actually, to see a little expansion for this, because I think with a little more going on, maybe some more interesting cards rather than just those 3 simple set collection mechanisms, then this could have a little more staying power. As it is right now, I enjoy it. It gets a thumbs up from me, but it's not something with that you're going to remember, in a couple of weeks after you've played it, and it's not going to have a lot of staying power, unfortunately. So that's what I think. If you enjoy this style of game, then certainly nothing wrong with this one. It's got a good look to it. It's well made. Check it out. If you don't need another filler, then you don't need another filler. And that's all there is to it. That is Dice Heist.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.